This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available coffee, teas, chocolate, and other products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Besile Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Besile Lemba, and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "Time and health are two precious assets we don't recognize and appreciate until they have depleted." And that is from Dennis Whitley. Today's guest is someone who has been helping people for years protect their assets. His name is Ariel Goldchain. Hello, Ariel.
Nice to see you.
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. So tell us, the question I always wanted to ask you, how do you get into the insurance business?
When I graduated from the University of Maryland, there was only one thing I did not want to do: sales.
Oh, really?
But the good Lord said, no, I want you in sales. I wanted to be an executive.
Oh, really?
Sounded so good. I had no idea what that meant, but it sounded good. And getting to know some people, I just ended up interviewing the insurance business. And New York Life was the people that I was most impressed with. So I've been with them since I graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I just wanted to be with people, serving, helping people. So I found the right place.
Oh, wow.
So
That's fascinating. Very good. So how do you help them? Just tell us. How do you go about helping them, helping people?
I tell people that what I do is I help people if they live too long, if they die too soon, or if they get sick or they quit. Would you like to know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. If you live too long, do you know what the greatest challenge is today? The greatest financial challenge today is if we live too long. Statistics are showing that if you have a couple that are 65 years old, 25% of them, 25% of the men will live to be their early 90s, 25% of the women to the mid-90s, and one of them is going to live to their late 90s. So imagine when our parents retired, they may have had 15 or 20 years. Today, people are living to their 90s, and every day we hear about people living beyond 100. So what happens to those people who don't have enough money to retire for 30, 40 years? So one of the things that I do for people is show them ways in case they live too long, create assets in case they live too long. If you die too soon, it's called life insurance. So many people are confident and comfortable with what they have at work. Then they leave work and they lose their life insurance. So I make sure...
How do they lose the life insurance? Because they're no longer working with the company? Or?
Right. So often when you leave your employer, you can't take it with you.
Oh, really?
Some you can, but so often you can't.
But why is it set up that way?
Why is it that way?
Yeah. Oh, because they want to keep you there? Is that what they think?
Perhaps, or they don't want to keep paying for it. So I talk to people about having insurance for the rest of their lives. But in case you don't, then the question is how much do you need? So all I ask for is, could we have a conversation? And I try to find out what is important to you, who is important to you, what happens if you stop working, if that income stops, how many years would you like to replace? So, and then if you get sick or if you get disabled, then we talk about who's going to keep paying for your care. You don't want family members, hopefully, having to take care of you or quitting their jobs just to take care of you. So those are
What is the
premiums.
alternative? Okay. Okay. Let's say in case where you can't operate or whatever. What is the meaning? You have the money for people to take care of you. Is that what I mean?
Right. Now, as far as taking care of you, we just jumped into something called long-term care or extended care insurance. The skilled care in this area, the average cost is $108,000 per year. Now imagine having that bill that will wipe out your assets, your income, your investments. So long-term care will provide the care that you need. If you get disabled, do you have disability insurance? We're all money machines. So when the money machine stops working, who's going to replace those dollars? And for how long?
Okay. So having the disability insurance and the long-term care allow you to have money coming in to take care of you. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. That's right. People are under the assumption that health insurance or Medicare will take care of it. Medicare will take care of the first 100 days. But first you have to be hospitalized. The next 20 days, first 20 days, they pay 100%. The next 80 days you have a copay. At the end of the 100 days, they stop. Imagine living a long life and needing care later. I'm not going to bore you with statistics, but the likelihood of one of us getting care is very high because we're living so long.
Sure, makes sense.
That's a practical decision. I hope we never have to use it.
What do you mean by that?
I hope no one ever has to take care of us.
Well, I mean, the question, what I'm thinking is, if you live longer, I guess it has to do now with your health, wouldn't it?
Correct.
Okay, and then true, you have to live. You need the money to live. That's for sure. But are we talking about being in good health so you can take care of yourself, or?
In this conversation, yes. We just don't know what's going to happen. I'm very healthy, but I try to live an active lifestyle. I could fall off a bike. At the gym, I could have a fall, mess up my back, mess up my neck. I never know. But I just want to make sure that's taken care of.
So that's where the disability come in. Is that what you're
Disability will replace your income.
saying? For how long?
That depends on the plan. There are plans will go 5 years, others 65. With business people, I try to recommend group short-term disability plans. It's very inexpensive. So to your business clients, consider having it. Long-term disability, 5 years to 65.
5 years to 65 years?
Or to age 65.
Okay.
So there's different plans, but it's critically important.
Now, let me ask you, I'm trying to understand this. Somebody retired at 65.
Okay.
Okay, they pay some long-term disability that they was donating. How many years after 65 do they get to receive money for long-term care?
For long-term care?
Yes.
It depends on the plan. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, unlimited benefits.
Okay, how far does the plan goes? 20 years, 25, 30?
Only if you pick an unlimited plan.
Oh, there is such a thing called unlimited, which
Yes.
you put money in, and after 65, will pay you the rest of your life, as long as you're alive.
If you have that plan. But the insurance companies are getting rid of the unlimited plans. It's too rich for them.
So how many years are they leaving on the table?
Oof. Every case is different. Since we're talking about long-term care, all it is you're buying a daily benefit. For example, you can buy a $200 per day daily benefit. 5 years, it could be almost $500,000. You're buying a pot of money, which every year is growing with compounding, inflation.
So it's not crystal clear per se, not that I'm expecting you to have it crystal clear as to the amount. It's kind of like it's a case-by-case basis.
It is.
How much money you donate, and how much is the plan, and what have you.
It depends on the daily benefit and for how long, how many years. But that's money that we don't have to come up with.
Okay. Now, somebody stopped working. they're not 65, they're not working anymore, do they have, that's the plan that'll give them some income to live off of, or is only as far as health is concerned?
So retirement income?
Yes.
Okay. We just shifted into a new subject.
Okay, so that's the one we're talking about has to do with health.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's long-term care. So now the guy stopped working, what about the income for him to live?
Okay. Something that people have to take into consideration is taxes. So a conversation that I like to have with everyone is tax now, tax later, tax never. So tax now just means if we have savings, if we have CDs, if we have stocks, if we have mutual funds, for example, we're going to pay taxes today on the interest, on the gains. Tax later, IRAs, Roth IRAs, retirement plans, where we're deferring paying taxes till later.
Later is when?
After 59 and a half. If you take the money before 59 and a half, there's a penalty and taxes. After 59 and a half, you eliminate the penalty. So it's good to get some of the money from the tax now over to the tax later, don't you think? You want to defer it as long as you can. The one that very few people know about is the tax never. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have accumulation of wealth and it's accruing and you're not paying taxes on it? And then you withdraw it and you're not paying taxes on it. And I show people how to do that.
Okay. And what is that called? Tax never? Is that the name of it?
Tax never. One of the ways to do that is life insurance, believe it or not. And it's surprising the return you can get. It can be very huge. Another way, of course, is different types of plans where you say, I have a 16-year mortgage. Okay, why don't you get a policy where you are guaranteed to only pay 16 years? Limited pay, cash value plans, they build up cash more quickly.
I didn't get that. Give that to me again.
Okay.
You have a mortgage at 16 years.
Right.
And then what?
So you say, I want to have the type of policy where at the end of the 16 years, I'm done paying. I don't want to pay on life insurance anymore. So we set up a plan where we guarantee that at the end of the 16 years, you're done paying for it. However, the cash value buildup, as the mortgage is going down and the life insurance cash value is going up, there's a crossing point. You may want to use the cash value to pay off your mortgage early. It's just another purpose of it. So it's good to be able to get some of the tax later money into the tax never money. Okay. Where is your safe money? There are people who are earning 0.02 or 3 at the bank. So that's one way to put money in safety. Guarantees, no risk. Now, if we're talking about tax later, you could put money into investments where, wouldn't it be wonderful if I said, why don't we be at a floor, let's put a floor on your assets, which means you give $100,000. The market, the stock market does well, 15, 20% gain. So 20%, you're at 100,000 at the end of the first year, you're at 120,000. So we say to you, lock that in. Wouldn't that make sense? Lock it in. You now have 120,000 guaranteed. The stock market goes down. Instead of you at the end of that year ending up down here, you're still up here because we're locking in your gains. We're guaranteeing you're not going to lose any money. Look at all the people who wanted to retire in 2008, where we lost millions and billions of dollars. A lot of people had to delay that decision to retire because their retirement went to here. With these kinds of plans, you're locking them in, the gains.
Okay. And that's come from what? From the power of your insurance company, or just anybody else can get them, lock them in out there?
Well,
I'm just curious. That's just a question that came to my mind.
Of course.
Yeah.
So much has to do with the strength of the company. It doesn't matter what job you're in or what field you're in. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be with the #1 company? number one company, New York Life. So we look at things like ratings. There are 4 companies that do ratings to see the financial strength or the stability of an insurance company. New York Life is one of 3 insurers that have perfect 100, 100, 100 scores. It's called a Comdex score. So therefore the average of 100. One of the other 2 is our subsidiary, New York Life Insurance and Annuity Corporation. So we have the highest ratings. Another way you can tell how strong a person is financially is how much do you have in the bank? Don't answer that. How much do you have in the bank? So with an insurance company, it's how much do you have in surplus? How much do you have in reserves? With New York Life, we have over $22 billion. They're a mutual company. This is critically important. So many of the big companies are no longer mutual. They're now stock companies. So during troubled financial times, the stockholders say, we're number one, because their dividends, part of their gains, their dividends, go to their stockholders. A mutual company gives their dividends to their policy owners. So what does that mean? It means that if you have a cash value policy, the dividend buys extra death benefit. So it's not level, it's going up. It also means you have extra cash growing. It also means that you could use that dividend to pay down your premium every year. So wouldn't it be wonderful to have the type of policy where the premium is going down every year? That's the strength of dividend and being a mutual company and surplus. They're the leader in life insurance sales. They're the number one insurer. Income annuities, where you have all these assets growing, you retire, and you want a guaranteed income for life. They're the leader in that. They're the number one. They're the sole life insurance provider for AARP, and now they're talking about being the only provider for AARP for long-term care. So
you mean the other companies, AARP is not working with the other companies at all?
No, New York Life is the only one that's selling the life insurance, and now we're in talks to be the only company to sell long-term care. It's just a very strong company. They've been paying, they haven't missed a dividend in the last 160 years. I love competition. New York Life is the only company that's raised their dividends, increased their dividends over the last 3 years. It's the only large mutual company to raise it in 2015. No one else has. And the only reason I'm bringing up all these facts is it just means they're very financially strong and very stable. And if you're dealing in the future, you want to be with someone that's very financially stable and strong.
And who are the competitors then?
Competition?
Who are the other 2 you mentioned?
Oh, I hate to mention competition. Why plug
You don't
them?
have to. You don't have to.
Good.
I just asked a question for information purposes.
Of course. I'll tell you when it stops
Oh, you
rolling.
don't want to.
Yeah, that thing cuts off, I'll tell you. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, very good. Tell me, what is your biggest success in life, Ariel?
Biggest success. Biggest success is just helping people, serving people. I know it sounds very hokey. It is. I like helping. My favorite type of leadership is servant leadership. It just means serving others. I'm a big believer what goes around comes around. If you're good to other people, they'll be good to you. I don't charge fees. I give a lot of free advice. So I just tell people, if you have questions, give me a call. I'll analyze what you have. And if you have something that's wonderful and strong and good with a good company, I'll tell you that. So my greatest success is when I see other people succeed, when they have enough money to be able to retire. Then I know, okay, we did a pretty good job for them. You know, I gauge my success through other success. If they're doing well, then we've done a good job.
Excellent. And what would be considered the biggest challenge?
Oh gosh, the greatest challenge is, I just think, speaking to enough people, the greatest challenge is for people to believe what I'm saying and to trust in me, because my job is to gain people's trust. They don't know me. if someone refers me to someone else, they don't know who I am. So my job is to gain people's trust. So I'm going to ask you lots of questions, but it's only fair that you ask me anything and everything. I'll be very open with you.
And how are you planning to overcome that challenge?
Just being honest with people. You're not going to win over everyone.
Oh, naturally.
You just try. That's all. Being honest with people, and having fun and being low key, and educating. Especially the first appointment, we may spend a lot of time because I'm going to go from A to Z and just educate. If we're discussing life insurance, I want to know what your goals are. Who is important to you? What is important to you? And so, because every type of policy has advantages and disadvantages, but I'm going to take my time. I want you to learn as much as possible. And if I don't think you're getting it, we're going to go through it again.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And have fun. Gotta have fun.
So now let me ask you this. What are your customers, individual or businesses or both?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Individuals, I will give you two examples. It doesn't matter to me whether you're making this much or you're making this much. There was a lady, an employee of a firm in DC. She was barely making it. And she bought, it was a term insurance policy because she had a couple of children. And she did not know how she was going to pay $90 a quarter. There's another gentleman who had a 401k. And he wanted us to do a rollover into something else for a very large amount of money. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give the person who is barely making it just as much attention and importance as the businessman who's making a lot of money. And I'll come to them. They don't have to come to me.
Okay. Very good. That's interesting. Okay. So basically you have different set of policies for the business people, for the business, and you have another set of policies for the individuals.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, technically they're the same policies. They just have different goals. The individual, to protect their family, to be able to pay off the final expenses, to leave an income. For the business person, what happens if the business person leaves too soon? They have key employees. So they may want to have life insurance on themselves or on the key employees because they want the business to continue. It may just be bigger dollars. Same policies, but different goals.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. Well, folks, I think you learned something about insurance today.
I hope so. I hope so.
I also want to mention to you that we have a monthly breakfast event and that we moved that breakfast event actually. We're now hosting it at the Best Western of Fairfax, which is 3535 Chenbridge Road. Check on our website the dates of our breakfast event. Our website is blnbc.com. I also want to mention to you that we have a major expo coming up on May 22nd. We'll have about 100 exhibitors there, and there's still room for exhibitors and sponsors. And details on that can be found on our website, which is ultbizexpo.com. So again, Breakfast Club, the next one, check on our website, as I'm not sure exactly and precisely when this will be running, blnbc.com. Okay, Ariel, I have one question for you. What is that you would say as the last few words to the audience when it comes to insurance in general? What would you say to the audience when it comes to the insurance?
I would say review what you have. Think about what your goals are. So many people say, I have enough. Really? Based on what? What are your goals? I'd be more than happy to chat with anyone who just wants to review what they have.
How does one know they have enough or not enough? I'm just curious.
It depends. Do you want to replace your income for how many years? Do you want to pay your debts every month? For how long?
Okay.
Most people do not have enough. I have yet to meet anyone who said that's too much.
Would that they have too much?
Of insurance. Right?
Most people that you meet do not have enough. Is that what you're saying?
Never. Never. It's never enough.
How could that be? I'm just curious.
People typically underestimate what they need.
Oh, I see what I mean.
Because they don't look at the whole picture. You know, it's as simple as I want to replace my income for a certain number of years. How old are your children? Do you want to provide for college? Do you want to force your significant other to go to work? Do you want to leave your house paid off? Do you want to leave money behind for education? Things like that. It's never enough. So you do an analysis.
And after they've been with you, then they can come to enough. Is that what you're saying?
Anytime. Yeah.
Okay.
A conversation. That's all I
Well,
ask.
I guess you can't nail it. You got to be depend on it's on a case by case basis.
It is.
See the individual, how many kids, whatever, what needs to be paid, the college is paid or whatever, and
We have different priorities. Single people, maybe I just want to create a large amount of money for retirement. I want to retire early. What do I have to do that?
Gotcha. Okay, well, the best thing is just sit down individually and then assess the situation and then work out a plan,
Right.
and then take it from there.
Planning is what it's all about. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I thank you very much for coming to our show.
My pleasure. Happy Valentine's Day.
We're not exactly sure when this will be running, but if you catch it before, great, definitely. Or if not, there's another Valentine's Day coming in 2016. So
Thanks for
the wishes remain valid for that one as well. I thank you very much for tuning in. Our show run on Cox Communication on Tuesday 9 p.m., on Wednesday after midnight, and Saturday at 2 o'clock. You can also find more about all the shows we've done so far, over 100 of them, on our website, which is blnbc.com. Click on TV show and you'll see them there. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time. Have a good night. Be productive. Bye-bye.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available coffee, teas, chocolate, and other products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well.